Hello and welcome. Assalamu alaikum. You're watching Greenwich Live Sessions. This is your host Umar Khan, and I'm back with another session and another pack of guests because आज है Friday और Friday को हम English के ऊपर प्रोग्राम करते हैं. Usually you see literature review, लेकिन आज हम linguistic review करने जा रहे हैं और जितनी basic जो लिंग्विस्टिक के बारे में लोग नहीं जानते उस पर भी बात करेंगे, इसकी इम्पोर्टेंस, इसकी सिग्निफिकेंस पे बात करेंगे एंड हाउ इट चेंजेस लाइफ, इसके ऊपर भी बात करेंगे. एंड फॉर दैट आई हैव विद मी माय को होस्ट फॉर द डे, और आप देख सकते हैं हमारे साथ मौजूद हैं सुंदुस अनवार. कैसी हैं आप?
Assalamu alaikum. I'm good. How are you, Umar?
Walaikum salam. I'm absolutely fine, and I thank you so much for joining us. And if you would be kind enough to introduce our other guests for today.
Definitely. We have very special people from the linguistics field. One is our alumni. She's Anna Zakaria. She's a teacher in DHA CSS SKB campus. She did her master's in English linguistics from Greenwich University, and by profession, she's teaching for more than 11 years. So, hi, Anna. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Sindhas?
I'm good as well. Thank you so much for coming. It looks very good when alumni join us and, they come together and help us out in the reviews. So I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. My pleasure.
Second, we have Amna Iftikhar Shah. She's a student of Masters in English Linguistics right now. She is my class fellow as well. She's doing, looking forward for doing her CSS, and she has done her Bachelor's in International Relations. Hi, Amna. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good as well. Thank you so much for joining, you guys. So basically, today's review was actually is very close to my heart and my field, Omar, because I chose linguistics, and everybody was like, "Since you write so well, you portray, the literature so well. Why did you choose linguistics?" Because there's a part where you realize that practicality, along with your profession, if it goes together, it somehow helps you in going forward. And I'm always the person who believes in professional development. So my idea for linguistics was to help me become a better teacher and a better educationist. So that's what we're going to talk about. Why linguistics? What is the importance of it?
सबसे पहले जो एक सबसे कॉमन एरर जिन लोगों का लिटरेचर से या इंग्लिश से या लिंग्विस्टिक्स से ताल्लुक नहीं होता, उनके जहन में होता है लिटरेचर लिंग्विस्टिक्स एक ही तो चीज है. तो जरा इन लोगों के लिए आप बताएं कि लिंग्विस्टिक्स और लिटरेचर में जो एक वाज़ेह फर्क है वो क्या है.
Umar, if I take the lead and if I talk about linguistics, basically linguistics is about how words are formed. It's about the syntax, the formation, the lexical, the grammar, the sentence structures, how speech is developed throughout your life. How do you acquire a learning, a new language? We learn all sorts of things. Basically, teaching English to different people or to people who are foreign to it, or people whose first language is not English. So that is what linguistics is. It helps us, and especially in Greenwich University, we're given a very high level degree in English linguistics. Basically, it's applied linguistics. So I want Anna to add in it as well.
Thank you, Sindhas. Actually, in a layman's language, what is linguistics is actually the science. It is called the science of a language, right? Very simple. In science, there are some rules, and you perform some experiments and you get the results. So linguistics is exactly like that. If you compare it with the literature, literature is more creative, more philosophical. But linguistic is not like that. And linguistics is actually not like, lots and lots of language. It's not language learning. It's like a relationship of a language with the human. If somebody says something in literature, we can portray and we can add up different things with our views and thoughts. But in linguistics, some things are particular and you have to look to that in that area. Like if we have different branches that it tells us about how your brain manifests those languages. So we call that psycholinguistic. Now there are semantic, the grammatical structures, how to construct a sentence. Okay, what have we in mind? Just Umar was saying, लोगों को समझ आना चाहिए what is linguistics. Basically, लोग समझते हैं कि if you learn the grammar of that particular language, you'll know the language. It's not like that. It's far, far, far more than that. And it's not about English language. It is about every other language, like Spanish also, Chinese also. So there's a lot of difference. So linguistic is basically that thing that teaches you these differences among the language.
Amna, what
We
would you
need
say?
to
You're also a
understand.
part.
We
Yes.
need to understand that literature has this very thing. It gives you a bit of liberty because of the fact that whatever perception you give is correct at its own point. Linguistics obviously has its own set of rules, and it's mostly based on facts. I mean, in the sense that it starts with anatomy as to how words are formed, how we actually speak them, how a child learns them, to a point where we construct the whole sentence from one sound to the whole sentence, or to the whole phrase, to the whole conversation. So it's about, it encompasses the whole language in itself, from every aspect that a human gets in contact with the language anyway. It's more of that.
So now, Umar, if you understand this,
Around
that's
every field.
exactly like जिस तरह साइंस में हमारे पास हर तरह की fields होती हैं, ठीक है, इस तरह हमारे पास इंग्लिश में भी basically there are loads of fields. There's
और
computational
हम
linguistics,
इनिशिएट
there's
करते
neuro
हैं ना, हम
linguistics.
शुरू से
Yes,
देखते हैं कि कहाँ से एक बच्चा स्टार्ट करता है टू द एंड, कि जब वो प्रॉपर कॉन्वर्सेशन कर लेता है, वो चाहे उसकी फर्स्ट लैंग्वेज हो, चाहे वो सेकंड लैंग्वेज हो, वो एक्वायरिंग और लर्निंग तक का हम डिफरेंस, वी keep a very strict check on that. And we
that's
prefer
true.
acquiring over learning because acquiring is more practical anyway.
Very rightly said.
Yes, that's so true. If I take your opinion on it, Omar, that because usually you are from the media field, you know loads and loads about it. हम लोग को तो बिल्कुल भी 1 2 3 तुमसे सीखना पड़ेगा. But then, you tell me how much important is language in your field, because language is something that's a basic need. How much do you believe that language, the form of language, the way the words are said, everything?
Everything depends upon the language, और इसमें बहुत ज़्यादा depth आ जाती है. It's not just you know a certain language. There's lots more to it. How you're pronouncing the thing, what's your tone, and all the etiquettes and ethics comes into play with the language. And definitely when you know all the roots of a certain language, then automatically that comes into the play. And then आपकी conversation के अंदर वो छलकता है. अब कितनी दफा हम देखेंगे that we see very learned people, and I just got to know that Amna is pursuing a CSS. Mashallah, all the best for that. So when you, as much as you get educated, you get that grooming in yourself as well. तो language जो है बहुत ज़्यादा importance play करती है. And it's not just speaking, even with the writing skills, the reading, the writing, everything has a very crucial part to play. So it is very essential. And in fact, if आपका किसी भी एक लैंग्वेज के ऊपर होल्ड है, let it be any language, you can do wonders with your life just by the expertise of having command on one single language.
That's
That's true. If I take it forward, and I talk about the careers, because it's always taken in that form as well. जितना भी हम भाग लें, जितना भी बोलें, that passion always wins. But I believe that if your career is actually supported by your passion, it always develops better. So, if you talk about careers in linguistics, I want Anna to tell me about, because she's a teacher. She's been doing teaching since 11 years. So, how much has linguistics helped you, and why did you choose linguistics?
When I was in this teaching career, basically I did my CA as well. I was having an accountant background, right? But when I joined, they never gave me, in this school, these things happen. You never get the subject which you are good in. So they gave me English. Now, you need to, for teaching purpose, you don't need to learn the language or the grammar. You need to learn a lot of more than that. Like one of the courses you guys would be doing in this is TESOL, right? So it tells you how to inculcate or how to make children feel that they are in that environment if they are there to learn the language, English language. If we are talking about English linguistics, so that's why I'm portraying that. But other than that, linguistic has far more scopes. Like we always believe that acha bhai, we have done masters in English linguistics, so teacher ya professor hi hogi. No, it's not like that. There are many different fields, and even now I can see the school, they are hiring with different designations. Like they need a curriculum designer, they need a content writer, they need the person who can conduct the surveys. So, linguistic is far more than this teaching and all those things. And as you were saying that, how did it help me? Yeah, it really helped me. I have gained a lot of information. Teaching techniques were there. Well, when I did my psycholinguistics course, I came to know about different theories. Okay, how the memory of a child, you can put things in, and how you can work upon them. So things like that. So yes, no doubt. And then there was a little part of grammar as well. Then there was discourse analysis. You guys must be doing, or you will be doing in future, or you must have done it. So you learn so many things. It's not that linguistic is like you were learning a language. You went into like in a university and you asked them to please teach me a linguistic language because I'm an English teacher. It's not like that. You don't have to learn the rules to learn a language.
Indeed.
Yes.
And
So Miss Nadia Kaleem is here, and she says that good to see and hear Anna. Beauty and brains. We enjoyed so many classes together. So Miss Nadia was the one actually who referred to you, and as one she was like, you guys are going to have so much fun. We're going, if you're going to bring her forward. Amna, you tell me, लफ्ज और मायने का रिश्ता हाँ बाय आहंग से जिंदगी से वाबस्ता, right? Am I right?
Yes.
So bad with it.
So this is what she's talking about linguistics, basically, that how linguistics is. Anna, you tell me, the careers in linguistics and opportunities, why did you choose? Because you're going for a CSS. So why linguistics?
Honestly, it has a very long story, I guess. Let's cut it short. I'm from Balochistan, basically. And you know that what it feels like to be a woman there, because wahan par it's not like, because here in Karachi, it's not that easy. Because of the fact that every time I used to see when I had my cousins there, and I used to see that they were actually enrolled in universities, they were even interested. But somehow what happens is that because of the fact that they do not have adequate teaching facilities, they do not have the proper knowledge of language. So mostly the women quota is left because there is no one to go there. And there are times when, what happens is that as for CSS, as for international relations especially, they require someone who has good language speaking skills. But this is what we usually lack in Balochistan anyway. So my basic interest was that I would be a bit more groomed in this very language so that I can actually continue my career as in international relations, as a person who would represent Pakistan everywhere around the world.
Yes, I would totally agree to that. Umar, सबसे बड़ी बात ये होती है when we were choosing linguistics. सबसे पहला तो जो spark हम लोग हमेशा lose कर देते हैं ना when we have these discussions, these amazing discussions in literature. तो हम लोग हमेशा से ये miss करते हैं. वो हम लोग को बहुत याद आता है because especially सर सलमान के जब शेक्सपियर हम लोग को ऑफर हो रहा था तो हमारे पास लिंग्विस्टिक्स था एक तरफ तो हम लोगों को बहुत दिल पे पत्थर रख के ना वो लिंग्विस्टिक्स लेना पड़ा था हमें
and we had to leave that very course because of the fact कि अगर हम उस वक्त ले लेते
वो
तो फिर हमें
timings
linguistics छोड़ना
exactly
पड़ता. So
बिल्कुल
it
तो
was a very tough decision.
It's a very tough decision. Forensic linguistics to understand criminal minds with language. ESP, English for Special Purpose Language in the center. You can't even think about language. Linguistics is vital. Linguistics is indeed vital. If I take Miss Nadia's point forward, linguistics is vital. I'm doing my research on computational linguistics and how in linguistics students develop with the help of applications and technology. So I actually had to take help from a software engineer and ask him about the specs of an application and how I can integrate language in it and how I can develop more better pronunciations. So she's so right, linguistics is vital. If I take this point forward, being linguistics vital, there is a huge number of courses that actually are very very worthy of discussion. And I'm just going to talk about the number one course, that is TESOL. TESOL is basically teaching English as a second language and how we as people when we're learning about, because we're doing a master's in it. So we're actually getting the application as well. Our teachers, take practical, what should I say, assignments of ours as well. They make us do it in the class. They make us do the presentations, complete class teaching as well. So Anna, your experience with TESOL and how do you inculcate TESOL in your teaching?
Honestly, Sundars, I never applied those things in my in my class. Those are all obsolete. We are millennials, right? Generation Y. But the coming generation, it's Generation Z. They are not into all those things. So, you need to figure out different techniques, different approaches. And you need
Yeah.
to, linguistic is the only thing where you can work practically. Like in literature, you have those views of yours. It has been written like 50 or 40 or 50 years back. So never mind, anyone can come up and say anything. But in linguistics, you have to be practical. You have to be, very innovative with the children. So not those course approaches which were there, but yes, there were different the new approaches which has been introduced. Like I will talk about total immersion, and I've experienced this with my son. He was like 3 years old when I went first time to the America to meet my parents over there. And what did we do? I never used to talk to him in English. Honestly, it was few words, just like random words. And you sit down. You can just, if you want to have water, just ask them, please, can I have water? These things, not the fluent one. And the total immersion approach. I studied him over there. When he went over there, he used to go to the parks. He used to go to the malls, and he used to communicate with the children over there. Obviously, they don't understand his language, and he could not understand them. But there was a drastic change in 1.5 months. When we were coming back, he was fluently talking. I don't know it was right or wrong. I never tried to correct him. I never tried to, figure out his errors. But yes, he was talking. And this thing becomes better when I went for the second year. So I figured it out that yes, what we need over here is like total immersion, which is the new concept, which is a new approach, obviously. You guys are doing TESOL, you have the book, and after every approach, sir used to say that this is an obsolete one, you cannot try.
Yes.
Like you cannot do it in the class. So there's no point of if I'm learning and we know that it's an obsolete. So why we should try all these things with our students, right? So then I put this thing over there. Yes, ALM. I write that ALM method, audiolingual method. And right now in your
It did help. I'm basically, some were obsolete. I do believe that, we cannot actually inculcate all of them. I take your
all
point.
of
But
them.
don't you think TESOL is actually one of those courses that actually helps you in becoming a better teacher? It kinds of develops a more humanistic approach in you. It makes you understand why the teacher is not governed teacher anymore and why she's a facilitator now, why she's just,
Yes,
that
that's what I
typical.
was about to say. That yeah,
Exactly.
I was about to come on this point that yes, those things were there, but you cannot apply those approaches. But of course, you need to work upon what is the role of the teacher at that time and what is the role of the teacher in today's world. What is the role of the child and what is how you are going to treat their errors. You must be doing all these things, right? So right now, what are you doing in your online classes? You are integrating all the subjects, right? So that's integrated method. So the word is moving so fast. You cannot just stick to one approach and say कि नहीं नहीं मैंने तो इस conventional method से ही पढ़ाना है बच्चे को चाहे कुछ भी हो जाए. And honestly, lots of these types of things are going on in our school. Okay, but there are very big schools who are they're following IB system. What is IB system? It's exactly the same approach. This is a new approach for the new generation. So
Yes.
TESOL is also very vast now. The things are adding on. Like in literature, things
Yeah.
are there. You just go and give your reviews, you give your new points, that's it. But the work is already there. But in TESOL, everything is
Yeah,
like,
that's so true. If I talk about IB system, I'm an IB teacher as well. So, I totally agree to your point that in IB system, there is no such thing as a textbook anymore. We actually inculcate all the
yeah,
curriculums and we try to, come up with the inquiry researches. We make sure that, we're not teaching them something that is completely extracted from one thing. We inculcate every different, aspect of it. I'm not taking your point forward because now we both are teachers. We relate to that point. You always said that, I feel like I'm not the belonging of this subject because I am the person who's not a teacher. And you tell me, how much do you think when you're taking, because if I take your point and I take your point in TESOL, did it develop you in terms of your professionalism, in terms of, because this course actually has a very wide and
It does.
very
It
out
does. It
approach.
does.
It's like it makes you go in the field. It's like it's throwing you in
It
the field and
does.
telling
It's
you
not
to
only,
work on it.
I literally do believe that it's not only limited to a teacher-student relationship. It's just
Yes,
about being
true.
professionally capable of using a language in such a way that you can actually convey your point and the other person actually understands it.
Very
Mm,
true.
It
that's so true.
develops patience in you, because I remember when I initially started this very course, I lost patience many times. And this is a witness, because Sir Salman would have been a person who said, you lose patience. And I'm like, I'm not this patient to be. But yes, till the end of the course, I had developed enough patience and understanding that, it actually has a lot of aspects. And if you can make someone understand you better and they learn something that which is practical in a way that you don't just give them and force them into a set of rules while they do not understand anything, because this is the thing that we face every day as in Pakistan. In around 12 years of education and of compulsory English, a child is not even capable of forming a proper sentence structure.
Very true.
This is where we fail. And I was talking to Sindhu that day, and we were discussing the same thing, that if we have developed this very skill that we can actually hold a conversation, it's just because of the fact that our parents encourage reading and all the things that would actually contribute to this.
Right.
Because
Absolutely.
overall,
But then again, what's important here, Amna, is that we know that this is the problem, but let's just talk about solutions. Because now things are changing. We've seen.
Obviously, Anna, as Anna said, she's right, because we're talking about practical solutions, in the sense that she said that she has introduced new methods that she actually implemented on her own son, and it actually turned out to be successful anyway. So if it can happen in one class, it can happen in one school, can happen in the whole country.
And what I personally believe is there's no fixed formula for teaching methods.
That's so true.
It
That's
varies
so true.
to student from different. Even if you talk about
From
Pakistan,
teacher to teacher, it varies.
it varies,
Exactly,
and
it does.
every city there's different set of how students perceive things and how they observe and absorb things. So a good teacher is one who can actually read her or his students and then teach accordingly. And this is something that we really need to do, because even during these sessions what we try to do is we try to teach the parents and we try to teach the teachers as well, because it's very important to accept the fact that even our teachers need to be trained, even the
That is
parents
so
need to be trained.
So true.
Okay, I would like to add one thing over here.
Yes, yes.
As Umar said, the teachers need to be trained. This is very important. Like when a new medicine has been introduced, all the teachers go for the training, and they need to, any new
Yeah, doctors,
technology, any new doctors, all the doctors, and everyone has to go and get the training. If some new machinery comes up, all the engineers go, and they should know that they should know how to operate that machinery and etc. But there's a huge stagnant point for the teachers. They are there. Like if you see our book, our metric stream book, it's still there what we have read, and what still now, even in 2020, the children are reading the same book. So you can see how development has been, how much development has been taking place. So it's there. If there was a change, you could have seen in the books as well. Could have seen in the students as well.
That's so very
So
true.
like it's like 20 years or 15 years, everyone is following the same book, and even our parents, they have read the same book. So
If I
But
know
now, if I take your pointers forward, मैं सबके pointers forward लूँ, I do believe कि एक emergent वो नहीं दिखता पाकिस्तान में. But then again, there are universities like Greenwich University. If I take my university's point of view, जब हम लोगों का B.Ed program start हो रहा था, I remember my teacher being so vocal and clear about it. That's on this. I want the teachers, whoever teaches or whoever takes degrees or takes trainings from Greenwich, they show a difference in the society. They make the difference in learning. They make the difference in teaching. So I believe that I do believe कि वाकई curriculums develop नहीं हो रहे, और कुछ चीजें हैं जिन पे हमारा वाकई हाथ नहीं ला सकते, हम पॉलिसी मेकर्स की तरफ तक नहीं जा सकते. जैसे सर सलमान बोलते थे, वो बड़ी शार्क्स और फिर वो छोटे 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 होते थे हमारे जितने भी फिशेस. तो I do believe कि हम नहीं जा सकते. But then again, I believe as a teacher I can change.
इसमें एक और चीज है कि देखिए, जहाँ एजुकेशन इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, आपका एक्सपोजर और वो सेंस जो आपके टीचर्स आपको देते हैं कि आपने जो एजुकेशन हासिल की है उसको किस जगह पे किस तरीके से इम्प्लीमेंट करना है. Because even if I have a load of data and information and I don't know how to execute it or use it at the place, it is useless.
That's so true.
But there's another aspect that where parents come. हमारे यहाँ पर अगर if there is something wrong with the child's syllabus, if there's something wrong, there is something that needs to be addressed. यहाँ पर we do not have enough awareness because there are times when parents don't even know what their children study.
True, very true.
So this is what we need to do is that when teachers are getting trained, simultaneously parents should get trained too, because they are having their child in an institution, whether it be a school, a college, university, anywhere.
Amna, this is the reason you start these sessions कि हम बड़े lighter note पे just in a conversation कि कोई offend भी ना हो क्योंकि देखिए we live in a world where we agree to disagree. बहुत से लोग बहुत सी चीजों से agree नहीं करेंगे लेकिन at the same time what's important is the future generations. अगर हमारी कोई बात किसी और की बात या उसका बात करने का तरीका बुरा लग रहा है लेकिन उस बात को समझने की कोशिश करें कि वो आपके बेनिफिट के लिए. बट Amna, here I'd like to ask you, since you're here today with us, you're from Balochistan as you mentioned, so आपकी जो पूरा ये आपकी जो जर्नी थी वो थोड़ा सा हमारे लिए शेयर करें as an inspiration for all the ladies out there कि what challenges, what obstacles you faced, and ये माशाल्लाह बहुत एक तो टैबूज बने हुए हैं तो उसको भी थोड़ा
there are many.
So if you can talk us through your journey.
Honestly, as for me, I've been from those lucky ones who never had any hindrances because of the fact I do belong from a very conservative family. But my parents were people who, I still say that they answer people every day. But they were the ones who actually, encouraged me to a level that, you can do it and we will do it together. So yeah, I honestly, as in a family, because I see this every day, there are girls जिन्हें बहुत हो गया तो to the maximum 8th grade के बाद allowed नहीं होता स्कूल जाना और बहुत common है. But यहाँ पर, as for my parents, they never forced me into a specific subject that, you are supposed to take medical or you're supposed to take engineering or you're supposed to take something. Whatever I decided, they encouraged me, they supported me. And I said that, first I said, I'll do my bachelor's. They were like, okay. I said, I'll do my master's. And they were like, it's okay. But yeah, this doesn't happen much. This is not a common thing. I was very blessed to have this.
Support matters a lot. Absolutely, I totally
That's
agree.
true.
Parents
And I
support.
still say that they answer people every day because it's not. They're not left alone like this. They're asked questions still, because this is not something common as in Balochistan. It's not something common at all.
But it's really proud moment for all of us. कि माशाल्लाह देखें, there are many girls are looking up to you because you're an example. कि देखें, if you can do it, there are many who they can do it too. इस सोच से बाहर निकलें कि जी हमारा ये प्रॉब्लम, ये नहीं हो सकता, वो नहीं हो सकता, सब कुछ हो सकता है, आप कोशिश तो करें.
Education itself बहुत important है. वो subject कोई भी वो matter नहीं करता. Education itself बहुत important.
साथ में ये भी ऐड करूँगा, education के साथ passion for education and the passion, the hunger to be literate, to be educated, to have that awareness. I think that matters a lot too. I'm looking at Sundus and I can see she's got lots of questions in her head. So Sundus, पूछ लो क्या पूछना चाह रही हो?
If I take linguistics in mind, because जब मुझे बोला गया that Sundus, let's start linguistic review as well, and Miss Nadia always is like bring the change and bring the betterment. So I was extremely excited. At the same time, I was extremely nervous because linguistics is something that is very integrated together. Na? Literature is like, I can give my point of view. Another thing is, I'm so sorry, Miss Nadia, comment, I have to read it. Another thing is that it's important and needs to be understood is every language is sacred. That is so true. That's the same thing I was saying. I was very, very, what should I say, worried about it as well because I know this field, I'm learning in it. I know how much each part of it is required to be together. And if I miss out on one thing, or Sir Salman say, I'm learning it from the master, I would say. So, especially when you were talking about, agar main bolu, sir, maine language acquire kari, or, language learn nahi kari, just use the word acquire rather than learning, or it's a very big word, although it's a big word. But then again, wo chote words, Sir Salman would say that, don't use it. Use this. Pronunciation and everything. Each single thing is, so much integrated. So I would just say that linguistics is a huge compass, and we cannot just talk about it one day. We'll have more reviews on it. Anna, before we wrap it up, you tell us that what linguistics is and how much of you believe that the future generations are people who are in BS now. Why should they go for linguistics?
I would say that not only as a teacher, but as a parent, or if you're in any other field, this particular course will help you learn a lot more than what you have thought in your mind. Like if you wanted to convey your feelings to anyone, it's very simple. You say that life is beautiful. That's very common word which we keep on using, and we say that life is beautiful. But when you are a linguist, you will come to know that no, in what way you have to say that, and how does your brain manifest this particular sentence. So, there are a lot of things, and you start understanding the human psychology. Okay, I'm a teacher, obviously, I'm going to talk about that. When I was there in the initial days of my career, so I used to say, यार बच्चे पढ़ते नहीं हैं. मतलब हम तो बहुत पढ़ते थे, being a girl, हम तो बड़े पढ़ते थे, but यहाँ आजकल के बच्चे पढ़ते नहीं हैं. It's not like that. It's not like that. When I did psycholinguistics, I realized कि नहीं, बच्चे पढ़ने की कोशिश करते हैं, पर उनसे हो नहीं पाता. So there is a deficiency between the teacher. या तो portray नहीं कर पा रही है, she's not going to their level. It's like that. या मेरी बच्चे उसके लेवल तक नहीं आ पा रहे. So one has to go down or one has to come up. So it's like that. So linguistics helps you with this. I'm not saying if you're a teacher you have to go opt for this. Even if you're a parent, you have 5 or 6 kids, हर बच्चा एक जैसा नहीं होता. ठीक है, all of them are not similar. So आपको पता होना चाहिए कि एक अगर मेरा वीक है तो what are the reasons behind it. One should know it. So now you can learn a lot of things in linguistics. हमारे यहाँ मैं वही बता रही हूँ ना कि एक preconceived notion है कि नहीं भाई आप grammar सीख लें, just learn about the grammar and then I think you can master all the language. It's not true. It's not like that. It's very different. मैं भी सोच के यही आई थी कि maybe बहुत easy होगा, but it's very difficult. You have to go in, and every course is very difficult. Very different and very difficult. You learn a lot of different things.
Exactly. और हर चीज के मुश्किल और जो challenges हैं वो तब पता चलते हैं once you're into it, क्योंकि दूर से तो हर चीज बड़ी आसान लगती है. इनफैक्ट लोग कहते हैं यार ये तो लड़कियों का सब्जेक्ट्स हैं और ये तो बड़ा आसान है, बट बिलीव मी आप जरा करके देखें, जब पता चलेगा कि 25 शीट्स भरनी पड़ती है ना तो अंदाजा होता है. बट देन अगेन एक बात कॉमन है कि आपका कोई भी सब्जेक्ट हो, आपकी कोई भी फील्ड हो, ऑल फील्ड्स आर इक्वली चैलेंजिंग. सब फील्ड्स को रिस्पेक्ट करना चाहिए, कभी भी डिफरेंशिएट नहीं करना चाहिए. हर इंसान अपनी फील्ड का एक्सपर्ट है एंड वी शुड रिस्पेक्ट ऑल लैंग्वेजेस, all fields and all courses. Amna, before we leave, I'd like to ask you your final take, क्योंकि ये इतना vast topic है कि हम आधे घंटे में इसको cover नहीं कर सकते. We need like multiple sessions of 1 hour and 2 hours, and then we can cover the basics of linguistics. But what would you like to end up linguistics को लेके क्या कहना चाहिए?
Honestly, I do believe that linguistics is what encompasses obviously the entire language and can help you in around every field, every single field of life. Because interaction and communication is obviously the main, medium of communication. So if you have ever mastered that, you've mastered a great lot.
And as much as I'm loving this session, और अभी literally हमारी बात शुरुआत थी, मतलब जो हमारा टॉपिक है उसकी शुरुआत थी, and we have to end it, but we'll definitely continue this linguistics review because we've got so much to cover. This was like a teaser that we started today. अभी आगे हमने बहुत सी चीजें cover करी, but before I leave, I'd like to ask you both your experience at live sessions, starting from you, Anna. आपका Greenwich live sessions पे कैसा experience रहा?
Yeah, it was a good experience. Actually, Greenwich से तो अभी तक I'm connected. मतलब there's something very special between Greenwich and me. So I really like the session, and I'm really thankful to you both, Umar and Sundar. Thank you for inviting me in this session. I really enjoyed it. And I have recalled all my memories. Once you are done with the courses and your masters, you don't get into all these things. So you literally have to do a little bit of research. हम तो बड़े समझ रहे होते हैं ना कि टीचर 10 साल से पढ़ा रही है, उसको तो सब कुछ आता है. It's not like that. When you have to come up with give live sessions and like in today's generation, like new new students and all that, so you have to be very particular about it. You cannot make mistakes.
स्पेशली उस टाइम में जहाँ आपके स्टूडेंट्स गूगल खोल के आपको चैलेंज करने के लिए
Yes.
कॉन्स्टेंट बैठे होते हैं कि टीचर आप गलत हैं, तो
हाँ.
ये बड़ा टीचर को भी अपडेट रहना पड़ता है. Amna, how was your experience here today at Greenwich Live Session?
It was very nice, and I'm really happy that there are a lot of people who would actually at least know the difference between literature and language today. Anyway, so
Right.
yeah, it was very good. It's a very good initiative that we connect to the university. We're still connected in a way that even if we're not going to the university, we're still connected to it.
Indeed, and thank you so much for joining in. I wish you all the best with your CSS, and same for you, Anna. I wish you all the
Thank
best with your work. Sundus, आप खामोशी से बैठी हुई हैं, तब क्या हो गया? सब खैरियत है? I do that too. Anyways, Sundus, पहले I'd like to thank you as well, because let me tell you, Greenwich Live Sessions हमारा बड़ा शुरू है, लेकिन ये जो फ्राइडे वाला शो है उसके पीछे it is all Sundar's सारी की वर्किंग होती है, and now she's brought up this linguistics as well, जो कि बड़ी अच्छे Sundar's का effort है, because ये field Sundar की है, it's not mine. So thank you Sundar for bringing in linguistics into our reviews and our sessions. And I think इससे और बहुत लोग बहुत कुछ सीखेंगे. So anything you'd like to add before we end it?
I was just ended into a very good, note that Alhamdulillah, I've been privileged enough. जैसे मैं हमेशा बोलती हूँ, हम लोग उन privileged लोगों में से हैं, who get education, who don't have to run after it, who don't have to actually, make different ends meet to just, get one degree. I'm really thankful to Greenwich University for actually providing their students a chance to talk about how they have learned and what they're learning. My university especially, I would say, is now getting more closer to me, because especially being at the backside now, talking about the development, having this passion in education, and how much my university teachers are helping me in it. So I believe कि किसी को thank you नहीं जाता, thank you सब university को जाता है, that they gave us this platform. They made us, all come together, and they just helped us out, because usually बच्चों को आवाज नहीं मिलती. University में बच्चे बहुत, कहीं कोने में चले जाते हैं. But I would just say thank you to Greenwich University and Ms. Seema especially, that she helped us out and she's always there to, support us. And thank you, Umar, for, bringing English and Masters people together.
Indeed, वैसे बात I totally agree with all that, but taking it to the lighter note, अभी election में 3 साल बाकी हैं, आपने अभी से तैयारी शुरू कर दी है.
Laugh this, Umar.
Alright, so thank you so much, guys. Stay safe, keep smiling, and keep doing the wonderful work that you guys are doing in your respective fields. And guys, this was our live session for today. वक्त बहुत कम था, because जो linguistics की field है वो बहुत deep है, वो बहुत vast है. There's so much to cover, लेकिन this was just the start. ये आज हमने एक initiative लिया जिसमें आगे हम जाके हम और बहुत सी चीजें बात भी करेंगे उन पे, उनको आपके साथ शेयर भी करेंगे, and hopefully together we can explore more and spread more awareness about this beautiful subject. So I hope you guys enjoyed this session. कल इंशाल्लाह आपसे फिर मुलाकात होगी with another guest, with another session, with another topic. Here you can see all the details of Greenwich University. इसमें हमारा WhatsApp number is on the screen, our email address, and our website, that is greenwich.university. September 15 से fall semester start हो रहा है. All the programs that Greenwich is offering includes BBA, MBA, MPhil, PhD, English language, literature, linguistics. We have media sciences, जिसके अंदर हम बहुत सी fields को आप further explore कर सकते हैं, जिसमें graphics है, animation है, journalism, radio, TV, all is there at the same time. We have economics, banking, finance, all of that as well, plus education को support करने के लिए, promote करने के लिए Greenwich is offering B.Ed, जिसको education के अंदर professionally आगे बढ़ना है, तो सारे teachers को support करने के लिए 50% discount for all the teachers out there to get enrolled into the B.Ed program. So greenwich.university, our website पे visit करें, and you can sign up and have a feel on your own how life is at Greenwich. इसी के साथ उमर खान को दीजिए इजाजत. Inshallah मुलाकात होगी आपसे कल with another session, another topic. Until next time, keep smiling, stay safe, stay positive, not corona positive, but positive in life. Until next time, Pakistan Zindabad.